COVID-19 has slowed the world down, and that, on the surface, seems to be a good thing for that other deadly global crisis: climate change. China is the world's biggest emitter of greenhouse gases, but the lockdowns that shut down factories and kept drivers off roads have corresponded with a staggering drop in emissions there, with nitrogen dioxide levels falling by up to 40%. Scientists are seeing similar trends in Italy, and pollution levels in major American cities are down too. But before we all start celebrating, remember that none of these environmental gains are expected to last. Just look at China. Travel restrictions have been lifted in the province where the outbreak started, and nearby factories run by Honda, Nissan, and other car makers have begun their return to business as usual. Which means air pollution is back too. That trend could get even worse, depending on China's plans to boost its economy. A report released by the NGO Global Energy Monitor found that in the first 3 weeks of March, China has approved plans for more coal-fired power capacity than in all of 2019. Back in the US, the EPA announced that it would stop enforcing environmental laws indefinitely in situations where the agency agrees a business couldn't comply because of the pandemic, though it's unclear what they'd have to do to prove that. The agency took this unprecedented move after receiving a letter from the American Petroleum Institute requesting a suspension of regulations. And President Trump has made it clear one of his top priorities is to bail out fuel-inefficient industries like airlines and cruises.
We want to protect our shipping industry, our cruise industry, cruise ships. We want to protect our airline industry, very important.
They might be very important, but after 3 rounds of negotiations in Congress, the latest bailout plan is missing a provision that environmental groups have been pushing for: that airline bailout money be contingent on emission reductions. And so far, the bailout talks have left the hard-hit renewable energy sector in the dust. The virus is spreading at a time when solar and wind technicians are the 2 fastest-growing occupations in the US. But with installations down, global supply chains disrupted, and plants temporarily offline, the industry's growth is suddenly stalled. We talked to Tom Kiernan of the American Wind Energy Association, which is still lobbying Congress for an extension of tax credits.
The wind industry has an extraordinary amount of wind farms under construction. A near record 44 gigawatts are under construction throughout the country. So the COVID disruption is coming at a horrendous moment as we are maxing out all of our systems of building turbines and wind blades and towers. Hence why we're deeply concerned and looking to Congress to provide some of these policies. The industry will thrive in the long term. The question is how smoothly we can get to this point and how quickly we can get there by keeping the 115,000 employees that we have on the job so that as we come out of this, we can grow from there. We don't want to have the potential layoff of 35,000 folks. That'll set us back 6 months, a year, 2 years. We need to get through this crisis and get through, frankly, the huge public health challenge, but we can get through this challenge in a way that positions us to continue reducing the carbon intensity in our economy.